Well, after another failed vote in the Senate today, the U.S. is on the verge of breaking the record for the longest government shutdown in history at 35 days. Today ties the record for the longest stalemate, which was set during President Trump's first term in the White House. Even though there's no deal yet, there is some discussion of a path forward that could end the shutdown. CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now with where things stand. So, Caitlin, what is the potential path?
Lindsay, great to see you. Well, we are headed towards the longest shutdown in American history. There is no doubt about that. There is not going to be a deal made within the next 24 hours to make that not so. However, there is news today. I was up on Capitol Hill all day, and you could feel that the conversations were different. Now, I should say, these are conversations happening now. There isn't real legislation at this point for people to vote on besides that continuing resolution to fund the government. But the conversations have changed. You do have Democrats and Republicans, rank and file, but still nonetheless talking to each other and trying to work out a deal that so far looks like voting to reopen the government, voting at some point to extend those Obamacare subsidies, not a guarantee that it will pass, but a vote nonetheless, and also trying to pass 3 different appropriations bills to fund parts of the government more long term. Remember, we've got no appropriations bills passed, which is why we're in this position in the first place. So people are talking, which, Lindsay, that is a step up from where we have been before. Still a long way to go, but it is clear that the outside pressure, what we're seeing at airports, what we're seeing from SNAP recipients, which we'll talk about in a minute, and other people across the country are really feeling pinched. Those pressure points are hitting Capitol Hill.
And so when you say people are talking, is it senators who are talking? And also, can you clear up what's happening with SNAP benefits? Are partial payments going out? When will people get those?
Yeah, these are rank and file senators, which is important because those are the ones that are going to decide this thing. But Chuck Schumer and John Thune are still not talking to each other yet. So we'll wait to see whether that happens. On SNAP, this is very complicated, and I want to walk you through it. Remember, the president was forced by court order to tap into these emergency funds that the Department of Agriculture has to pay for SNAP benefits. What was in that fund really only covers half of what it takes to cover SNAP for the full month of November. There's about $5 billion in that fund. It takes $8 billion. So the president, the administration, is tapping into that fund. There was some confusion earlier today. The White House cleared that up, said that they are still going forward with that. But I should note that this money has still not reached people on their cards that they use to buy groceries with their SNAP funding, because it takes a long time for the funds to be released, to be transferred to the states, and then to be loaded onto that cards. That's why a lot of these states were saying weeks ago that they needed some guidance back then, back in mid-October, to know what they should expect, because it takes a long time to process it. So I just checked in with a food bank that I'd been reporting on in central Pennsylvania. They have not seen the money be dispersed yet, but noted that it could take a while. So even though they're going to get those funds, they still are delayed.
Well, we appreciate your reporting, Caitlin Huey-Burns. Thank you.